Tom Shields.
I'm Dan Jacobs.
And this is the Wall News Podcast. You're not Cody.
I am not. The larger version, older version of Cody, yes.
Yeah, so Cody's down at Disney, so you're going to be Cody today.
Helping out.
We appreciate Dan coming on. He's been our mentor. I don't know if we said that the last show.
Here to help out.
You've taught us so much, like how to speak into a mic and use a board and stuff like that.
You grew up so fast.
We're trying. I think we're in our teenage years right now when it comes to podcasts. Yeah, we have a lot of growing pains to go. You got Rich Pelosi over there. Hello, Rich.
How's it going?
Rich, how was the weekend? I met the boys.
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. We really lucked out. The night we went to Asbury, we hit a bunch of the spots. We got into everything. There was a good show at the Pony. Well, it worked out.
What'd you guys see at the Pony?
It was like a '90s cover.
Oh yeah.
They played a ton of different.
What'd they play? What was your favorite song they played?
They played a little Blink-182, Simple Plan.
Yes.
Stuff like Taking Back Sunday.
Right. They weren't playing. Boy Meets Girl or anything like that. No. But yeah, those guys were really nice, and they were from all over Atlanta.
Yeah, we had Atlanta, Texas, Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, well, they were great. And I heard that you're doing some investments for us. That you have a plan for us to make some money for the studio.
Everyone says to follow my aunt there, good old Nancy Pelosi.
We can make serious money following her, right?
They say that's actually a good strategy.
It's like a lot of congressmen, right?
Yeah.
And women.
They've come out with something called Autopilot. That's an
app,
which apparently tracks all that. I'm going to have to check it out, but it seems pretty cool.
How much do you think we can make a year, percentage-wise? Like 20% return
20,
on an investment?
30, hopefully.
We could do that. We get a whole new studio. We could give money to InfoAge. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I love it. All right, we'll talk about that off air. But today we got a great show. One of my favorite people in the whole world, Daryl Lynn O Connell. I'm going to read your bio because it's an extensive bio. I don't want to mess this up. All right, Daryl Lynn O Connell is the Director of Development and Operations at Allaire Village Incorporated. With over 30 years of experience in communications, fundraising, sales, sports and retail marketing, management, event planning and promotion, advertising, social media, and public relations. Writing and creating for over 15 years as well. She's been featured in Women's Day, Family Circle, and various other magazines. With passion to script life messages and write inspirational children's books, produce inspirational products, as well as provide executive publishing, consulting, and blogging. She's a prolific writer and coach, delivering imagination, emotional support, and providing tools in life that matter, especially kindness. Daryl, welcome to our show.
Wow, that made me sound really nice.
We got to break this down in an hour. And I think we will.
Okay, I'm ready.
I mean, we're going to have a great conversation.
Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I met you, we talked for about 2 hours. At least, yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't even, it felt like nothing.
Like at a flea market?
Yeah, it was at the Allaire flea market.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
We just got to cut that in half today.
Yes.
So we'll fit it all in.
We'll do it.
So if you could, tell our listeners, let's start off with an easy one. Let's differentiate between Allaire Village and Allaire State Park.
I'm so glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
So Allaire State Park, which is a major state park within Monmouth County, New Jersey, our houses, should I say, the historic village at Allaire. Mm-hmm. We had 13 buildings. We're down to 12 buildings right now. Mm-hmm. We are the historic village that James P. Allaire started, actually purchased in 1822. And we operate that. We're a nonprofit organization that operates the village within Allaire State Park. Everyone thinks we are Allaire State Park, but we are not. We are a whole separate, entity. That's our home. Mm-hmm. The state park is our home.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So you guys are your own entity.
Yes.
And then what do you, before we get into being your own entity,
yeah.
What is the background of Allaire? You said 1822. How did it all come about? I mean, it's 200 years ago. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a state that puts up parking lots and battlefields and
so
tears
James
down
P. Allaire,
presidential mansions.
He purchased the property in 1822. His purpose was to ensure a source of iron for his New York City steam engine works.
Okay.
And he would, this area was very rich in all the ingredients that he needed to create this iron.
The bog iron.
The bog iron. So he literally created a village. Everything from a bakery, a general store, a post office, a blacksmith shop, a carpenter shop. We have the foreman's cottage, the manager's house, and then what we call the enameling building. It was a village, I believe, up to a chapel, and the row houses, which housed all the villagers. And I believe at one point it was up to almost 500 people at one point.
And the building where the general store is, I mean, that's 6 floors. That was one of the bigger structures in Miles County.
Four
floors?
4 floors, and still the biggest general store, from what I understand, in the state of New Jersey. And it still operates. We still have an amazing general store. So that
and the bakery, you guys,
and our bakery is, I'm a little biased, but most unbelievable bakery in New Jersey.
And it's probably the best hidden bakery in New Jersey.
Hidden bakery, and such amazing, the large cookies, the strudels, the
pickled products.
We have pickled products. We have gluten-free and dairy-free.
Ooh,
a lot of people
That's
don't know that,
days.
but it is the best gluten-free and dairy-free products I've ever had. The donuts. Apple cider donuts, apple cider, best coffee. We have our own Allaire Village coffee. Just unbelievable.
Are those vendors mom and pop? Are they? How do you become?
They are. Yes, you're right. That's very true. We our bakers are outside mom and pop, small businesses. One of them is larger business, but they're mainly small businesses that. We trust me. We taste test all of the products.
That's a great job.
For that, it's the best staff meetings.
Can I get
ever.
in on that? What are you gonna taste test?
Best staff meetings ever. But we do taste everything and test it to see if it's the quality that we want. So we're a little bit picky, and I think anybody who's ever had anything from the bakery would agree with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And in the general store, you sell some very interesting products there, right?
Oh my gosh, we sell all Allaire Village memorabilia. We sell Clevenger glass, which is New Jersey glass that went out. The Clevenger brothers had in South Jersey.
Okay.
We have the largest collection right now in the state of New Jersey. If our executive director was here, Hans M. Sikis, he would be telling me all the exact numbers. I think he probably has one of the largest collections that he owns personally. It's just beautiful colored glass. But you can go in there and buy a piece of vintage. It's like,
is the company still around or
no?
Wow.
And it is very thick, colorful, every color, every color of the rainbow, and jewel tones also. And you can go buy a piece of history in our general store. Plus, Allaire sweatshirts, Allaire t-shirts, Allaire hats, Allaire buttons, anything. And then a lot of our handmade pieces from the Allaire Auxiliary and volunteers.
Which are the workhorses.
They are amazing. Allaire Auxiliary has been around since the 50s, and they are, our volunteers. They come out and work our admission tents, and they sew things. They dress up. They're just an amazing group of very giving people, and some of them have been here 30, 40 years, coming every weekend. Yeah. Amazing dedication to the village. And then there's the blacksmiths making all of our, hooks and all different types of things, the Allaire heart and everything that really represents Allaire Village.
Not easy to be a blacksmith or an auxiliary member.
Not easy. We have 2 carpenters that, actually 3 that do the whittling, and I tried whittling for the first time. And shout out to Jim, because I failed. It was an epic fail. I thought it was so much easier. They made it look so easy, and to watch them whittle, you can come any weekend when the village is open and see them, in the carpenter shop whittling and, building things, and it's much harder than it looks.
You still have all your fingers, right?
Yeah, it was just really bad. Really bad.
My first impression of the general store is I got Declaration of Independence reprints for my classrooms.
Yep.
And I thought that was cool. And you guys have a cool local history bookstore.
We have a lot of local history books for sale in the general store. All the feather pens and the ink wells and the old time pencil sharpeners.
Yes.
And amazing candy. We
Oh,
are
yeah.
truly
Like the drugstore
like
pharmacy candy,
like
right?
the
Like where are
old
you getting
general
that
store
anymore?
Candy
Yeah.
that just brings
you have
back-
cowtails?
We do.
Yep.
We do. We have.
When is the general store open?
We are open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, so
11
Friday I
a.m.
could get
to
some
4
cowtails?
p.m. You can. You can.
I love it.
Yes.
So these are all great things going on with the park, but what originally drew you to the park?
Me personally.
Yeah, you personally.
Well, I can tell you that when I was a little girl, my mother would always bring me to Allaire to go to the craft show. And it was one of her favorite things to do. My family's very much into crafting. And if I behaved and did not go out of line, I was able to go into the bakery to get a cookie. And I still get my cookies.
Does the cookie taste the same? Is it the...
Back then it was a sugar cookie.
Okay.
It was more of a sugar cookie, which
Yeah.
we have the snickerdoodle cookies now, which are just
For evil. Yes.
They're
Yeah.
evil. You're looking for evil.
yeah,
They are evil.
The snickerdoodle cookies are outrageous, and that's probably the closest what I say. But these cookies are much better than I remember. But I was I worked to get that cookie, so it's funny. The one time when I got to Allaire, the craft shows were dwindling a little bit. And I had said, one night when I got the job, I said, "Mom, I'm going to make you a promise. I'm going to bring those craft shows back to what it was when we went. When I was little." And now we're up to this weekend. Not this weekend. The following weekend, the 27th. We have our first craft show of the season, April 27th. We have over 125, 130 crafters. And the number's climbing. We believe we're going to a waiting list.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm bringing craft shows back.
Yes, I am. I am. That was my promise.
Yeah.
That was my promise.
135 vendors, you said, or 25?
Easy. One. I think we're over 130 right now.
Wow. What kind of vendors are people going to see
Everything.
April
These
27th?
are
And that's
all-
next. That's next Saturday.
That's the 27th.
Okay.
Yep. From 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. And the beautiful thing is we have such a selection of crafters and vendors coming in. I would say everything from sewing, woodworking, handmade bags, wreaths, glassworks, pottery, paintings, we have just such a nice array. I was just going over that with our coordinator who's doing the craft show, Kara, and she has just put together an unbelievable selection of crafters. And I think it's just going to be an amazing show. We have 2 food trucks coming in.
Ooh, who do you got? You got the empanada guy?
I don't know if it's empanada guy this time, but he's coming. He's coming.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. He does good work.
He does good work. He does, and but just an amazing. When you walk through the village, you're going to have an amazing selection of crafts.
Is it out in the big field?
It's not in the big field. It's actually in the village. It's
Oh,
$5
wow.
a person to get in.
That's great ambiance.
Yep. $5 a person to get in. The donations, all proceeds go to the Historic Village at Allaire, our educational programming. And the bakery will be open. The general store will be open. The Allaire Auxiliary will be out there. They do unbelievable crafts. It's just going to be a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the rain date, it's the next day. So
Okay.
let's hope for no rain.
Everybody's got the app on their phone now where they can look
Yes.
and say, okay.
Yep.
And that'll be on the, God forbid if there's rain, that'll be on the website.
Correct.
But, hey, we're
Yep.
going to switch it to the
The
next
next day, correct.
So when did you become director over there at Allaire Village?
I've been there almost, in this August I'll be 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
2 years.
So, you were a kid. You had
Yep.
the sugar cookies.
Yep.
All right. What else was your vision for the park? Did you step in and say, this is what it could be, and this is what I want to do as the director of operations, or did it take you a while to figure out what it could be?
Well, I had worked there in 2018 for 2018, 2019.
Lifetime ago.
Yep.
You're talking pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID.
That's 30 years ago.
Pre-COVID. And, it did really well. I had brought in some new things and changed some things and felt at that time it was just time to move on. I had gone as far as I can go. And then it's funny how, but I had always kept in touch with the executive director. We had always talked about exchanging ideas, never left, would still visit every event. Just, it wasn't, I say we broke up, but we really didn't break up.
No.
We
were on a break.
We were on a break. It's friends. I never left Allaire. Once you work there, I don't know if it ever leaves you. I cannot explain it, but when your heart is open to Allaire, Allaire gives you so much more. And then when you step back and you're away from it, you really, really miss it. And I missed it. So I was very blessed to feel that I could come back. And then I was given, to work directly with the executive director, and he's really, honestly, he's probably one of 3 or 4 people in your lives that you really believed in you, like believed in me.
And this is Hans?
This is Hans. He believed in me more so than probably I believed in myself.
Yeah.
And just always said, okay, explain to me why you want to do this and how you're going to do it. And then he'd go, okay, go. So he really let me open a creative door that I didn't even think I had. And then once I got it, it all just clicked. It all just fell. And now, we have a funny thing because I'll walk in there and I'll need, I need money for something, or I want to invest in something.
Petty cash?
Yep. We'll invest in something for an event,
sure.
And he'll just look at me and he'll go, really? And I say, yeah.
Gives you the look?
He gives me the look. And then he said,
Hat in
explain
hand.
it to me. And I said, he allows me to create experiences, not just events.
That's the best kind of bosses, right?
Yeah. So somebody that believes in you, that says, yes, I trust you, that you're going to create a positive experience. Professionally, I don't think you could get any better than that.
So would you say that your plans were incremental, or was it more like a big blanket for what you wanted to do? Because we're gonna go through this. This is some fantastic things that you guys are doing over there.
I would say it was incremental in the sense that not everything works, not every event is perfect, and not everybody agrees.
Right.
So you have to take all of those things into consideration. But my confidence was built in knowing that I knew how to create an experience. And then once he and I had a trust, kind of like, our little table of trust, it's very simple. Right. It just works, and there's no doubt on either side. He goes, okay, do it, and I'll back you. And
yeah, you knew how to create. But did you have when you started? Did you have the conviction? Because you said about people, haters gonna hate sometimes, right?
Haters
gonna hate. So you have to. Did you have the conviction when you started, or
absolutely?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not real popular to be like that.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, to have self-confidence is like.
Especially, and I hate to pull the woman card, but it's a lot different when you come to the table with being headstrong or a little bit stubborn and seen as somebody who's got a true opinion about something. You're as a woman, I hate to say it, you're looked at differently, but you have to see past that, and you have to. So then, to me, that's a challenge, because then you're not looking at me as a woman. I want you to look at me as the event. Right. I want you to hear what I'm talking about, listen to what I'm saying, not about who's delivering the message.
Absolutely.
As I think we should all be, but
amen.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're great.
Well,
so.
Thank you.
So you have these incredible special events for families and adults. So as a teacher and being at that age where a lot of my friends and family members are having children, I love the accessibility and the pure joy your family programs bring. So let's get in the greatest hits of of Allaire Village. I
Okay.
got to start with 2.5 weeks ago because I was actually there.
Okay.
Easter was
Yeah.
magical. Can you tell our audience about that?
Yes.
event?
So, we years ago we used to do egg hunts. Sometimes parents can get a little aggressive.
Parents these days? No way. I don't see.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that egg hunts got cutthroat?
Just there were moments. There were moments. And then COVID came,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the whole level. Event level changed for everyone that was doing events, and we decided that we were going to make it an Easter experience from the moment you step on the property of the village. And you were welcomed with a old time music, like the minstrel big organ.
Okay.
We had that playing. We had people dressed up welcoming everyone.
Sounded like Sergeant Pepper.
Yeah,
part
it
of
was
it.
just,
Yeah.
it was, we had
Benefit of
our
Mr. Kite.
volunteers and our staff dressed up in 1830s outfits, and you were welcomed with an Easter egg with the little toys in it. Every child could get up to 6 to 10 eggs. So what we did, instead of having an egg hunt, you had places where you stopped by and you got your egg. So we had, it was really nice. It was kind of egg stops, as I call them.
I like it.
And we had
excellent.
it was excellent.
I was there. I had to take
sorry.
it. I had to do it.
It was extra special.
There you
of course.
go.
Yep.
Now you're in the mood
Yep.
for puns.
We had a magician, a bubble magician.
Mm-hmm.
We had music. We had live animals. We had live bunnies
Live
from 4-H.
Yeah, 4-H.
Yep.
I know 4-H.
Mammoth Feed gave us baby chicks. We had little baby chicks because most kids haven't seen 4-day-old baby chicks.
Right.
Yeah.
That was amazing. So we had them, incubated and with their heaters and everything. But you could literally walk up and be 2 feet away from a baby chick, and the children were just fascinated. The parents were fascinated.
But that was a big
big
draw there.
Big draw. We have storytelling in the enameling building. And all along, petting the bunnies. We even had a chinchilla there from the 4-H. We had guinea pigs from the 4-H. We had a petting zoo. I should say a viewing zoo, which was 360. Like you could walk all the way around. We had baby goats. We had one goat that was 5 days old.
Oh, wow.
Just beautiful animals, chickens and ducks. And
You ever watch the
everything.
goat videos on the
love 'em.
internet? Aren't they funny?
Love goat
They're great.
videos.
You just go down a rabbit hole with a
Yep.
goat video for like
Only
an
with,
hour.
Yep.
Taylor-
We had bonnet decorating.
Mm-hmm.
We had crafting. You could stop by and pick up a craft, and I think you handled one of those.
I did the
tables.
crafts. I volunteered for the craft table, and I loved it. The
You
kids
did.
were great.
Yep. And then, of course, the ever popular, the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
And then
Easter
you could
Bunny
get
did
your
great.
Picture taken with the Easter Bunny, and then we had what we call our bunny. We had a bunny house. It's an outdoor house that stays outdoor, and we decorate it for every season. And that was a beautiful backdrop for a selfie station or a family photo.
I love it. Selfie station, bringing
Yes.
Allaire Village into the 21st
Yes,
century.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the kids were really cute. Like they were young. They would come up and they'd be like, they look like little drunks. They were like, I don't know what to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. They-
the
yeah.
parents are like, say thank you.
Yes.
Say thank
And
you.
we had
They're like,
they were doing fresh cinnamon. They were actually doing hearth cooking.
oh
in
wow,
the
where were
manager's
they
house,
hearth cooking?
And they were making cinnamon buns, cinnamon with icing.
Was that
an
was like
1830s
historic? Was that historical for
an 1830s
Easter?
recipe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
1830s
amazing.
recipe.
Over the hearth, over an open fire, just like they would do in the 1830s. We handed out recipe cards to the families of deviled eggs and
And the recipe card that's from 200 years ago.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yes, and then we also had a scavenger hunt where you could look for the silhouettes of bunnies. We had 6 locations, and then if you found 4 of them, you could go in and get a prize in the general store. Nice. So it was a day. The day you could stay 1 hour, you could stay 4 hours.
yeah.
Again, we wanted to create a full experience, and I believe we really did that.
I think you
For
did it.
families.
There's a lot of happy families.
A lot of happy families. Yes, we also gave out our Flat James, which is our
Flat James.
Flat James.
You're gonna
is
kill me.
The equivalent. You didn't bring one? Guess who did?
Oh, can we get this on camera?
I leave home without my Flat
Well, you got to
James.
plug Flat James right now.
Okay, so Flat James is, I guess, the equivalent of Flat Stanley, but he's James P. Allaire, and we hand these out to family members and especially children, and ask them to take James on your adventures. So instead of you coming to history, we want history to go with you. Mm-hmm. And that was the whole. And then we ask you to post on our Facebook or our Instagram pages your pictures of wherever you take Flat James, and we feature them on our social media.
This is why you're going to kill me. I forgot to bring him to NASA.
Okay.
As long as you remembered my stuff from NASA.
Well, we'll see. We'll get to that. Maybe in the local news. We'll see.
So, well, he
But
was
listen,
in Zurich. He was in Zurich in Paris this.
He didn't want to be
months
in
ago.
Cocoa Beach. He's not dressed for Cocoa Beach.
all right.
But I think, Rich, you could superimpose. If I give you like a photo of me at NASA,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
can you superimpose?
We could put that in.
Flat James.
Absolutely.
Superimpose. Flat
We'll
James.
superimpose.
All
I
right.
forgot. I left him in my car.
Okay, but that's not.
I know. I
what
felt
you're
so
supposed
bad.
to do.
I know.
It's okay.
But I love Flat James. It's great. So he was in Zurich. Any other crazy spots? Flat James.
He's been in Paris. He's been
Paris.
in California.
Oui.
He's been in all over multiple states: Texas, Florida, Maine. Went to the chiropractor. He went to the chiropractor.
And you post this on your social media.
Yes, we post
Flat
the
James.
pictures. We ask you
Yeah.
to send them. You can DM us on Facebook. You can DM us.
What's your social media handles?
Funny you should ask.
Oh, is that on the
But
back?
It's right
Wow,
on the
you
back.
think of everything.
And all you have to do is the historic village at Allaire.
Okay.
It's all the information is right there.
Excellent.
So you guys are Facebook, Instagram,
Yes, Facebook and Instagram.
You have your
We're
own
starting
website.
AllaireVillage.org.
.org. Very clean.
Everything's on there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start up a TikTok again. We did it for a little bit, and then we
Nice.
decided we got away from it, and we're going to go back to it again.
Get the kids involved. Do like maybe a Flat James dance.
Yeah, we're gonna try to
Yeah.
bring it into 2024.
All you need is 20 seconds.
That's
and a
right.
Flat James dance, and you're golden.
We're
You're
golden.
viral.
We're golden.
That's what the kids tell me. Actually, I will ask my students, like,
I would love it.
what can Allaire do for TikTok?
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I love any ideas.
There's a new dance coming out. I'm telling you, you've heard it here first. You're going to see it all this summer. I can't explain it. It was like the floss and the gritty and all
Yeah.
that. It's coming. It's coming.
All right.
I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
It's Rich. I'll have to ask about it tomorrow. It's very weird, but I know it's going to be the dance of the summer,
Okay.
guaranteed.
All right.
All right.
So that was Easter,
Yes.
and then every month, I think personally, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, because I've been to a few of these. You guys hold a flea market. I think it's the best in the county.
Okay, so I best in the county. We say best on the Jersey Shore.
Oh, okay, even
we
better.
open
So you
up
get the whole coastline.
Best flea market on the
Yeah.
Jersey Shore. Yes. Generally, the second Saturday of every month.
When's the next one?
May 11th.
May 11th. Okay, couple
Yeah,
weeks.
Couple weeks. Yes, and we have generally always over 100 vendors. Had a little bit of a rough one this week with the last week with the weather, but we're looking towards May, and always over 100 vendors. We have an ATM out there in the field if you need to get cash.
Wow. How long is that extension cord?
It's pretty long. It's pretty long. Yeah, but we make it happen.
You make it happen.
Yep. We have food truck. We have some sponsors come out. A lot of times we have radios out there, and it's $5 to get in. Everybody says, "Why do I have to pay to get into a flea market?" And I'm like, You're not just paying to get into a flea market. You're paying to keep this place
That's a bargain,
going.
though. $5.
Well, you don't listen. You normally don't pay to get into a flea market,
Yeah.
and some people come up and go, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not kidding you. And let me tell you why. Because we're fighting to be here, and we're fighting to stay
we're
here.
preserving buildings. You said you lost one.
Well, we're down 2 roofs right now. We've got a leak in the chapel and
Yeah.
a leak in the enameling building. We've had over 10,000 weddings in the chapel and ceremonies since 1822. So,
Wait, how many? Say that again.
over 10,000 ceremonies have been documented.
Do you remember any of them?
I do.
Do you remember July 19th, 1998?
Oh,
I think you were
oh,
there.
wait,
It was
hey now.
97 degrees, and I think you've gotten air conditioning since then. So.
We do have air conditioning since then. It is.
Did you have a
climate
wool
controlled.
suit on? Was it?
I came prepared,
historical?
by the way, just in case I had to wear this. They ask you questions, by the way. So.
That was.
Is that
the-
from
that's
the
past,
year?
it's past weekend.
that's from
by
the
way.
Oh,
flea
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
You went to the flea market.
I did. We
You
go.
did?
We go all the time. We absolutely love it. So.
Yeah, and
have
we
a great time.
appreciate you coming because those flea markets really are our monthly stream of money that's coming into whatever repair that we've got going. That flea market is it. So I always say, you're coming into a flea market to search for bargains, and you're giving us a lifeline. So it's really, really important to
Excellent,
us.
excellent. My neighbor absolutely loves it. He goes there, sells out at his antiques there. His name
Great.
is Dave. I can't remember his last name, but
I know Dave.
Dave. Remember his last name?
I just know
I
Dave.
can't remember.
Dave's
Dave
great.
Johnson.
He's gonna hate me.
Dave
later.
Jackson's.
Yeah, Dave Jackson.
Great.
Oh, really? Get out of here. Stop.
Dave
You
Jackson.
pulled my leg.
You
Why
got-
not? My sister's listening. Hey, Doreen.
Hey, Dave Jackson.
He brought a U-Haul truck this past weekend.
He
there.
did.
Yeah, he did. And I think he probably sold out again.
He sold
So,
out.
Yeah,
Dave is right on the corner.
yeah.
Good
Good
Dave's
guy.
awesome.
Really good guy. His story behind every single thing he sells.
He does flooring.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. So when
This
he
is a
lives
side-
on
a
Old
great
Mill
side
Road,
hustle.
I know my vendors.
lives right down the street, Old Mill Road, same as me.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yep.
He's a good man.
Did you get anything Saturday? I didn't go
Yeah,
Saturday.
well, yeah. You know what? Strangely enough, and I don't know if do I have to put this on and ask you questions?
No, you don't.
All right, good, cool. I'll put this
you
over
know
here.
her now. She's
I will
gonna,
put
you
this
know.
over here. This is great.
Let you go.
So we are huge Harry Potter fans. So
Okay.
there is an individual over there selling the old timey bottles, the
Yes.
small bottles.
Yes.
I think we bought them all.
Yeah.
And we have
Put your
like
potions in there?
15 or 20. No, my wife makes the little potions. Like she goes online and figures out like, okay, hey, this is how you make polyjuice potion or something like that.
Yes.
And they're amazing. We've got 2 rooms in our basement that are just dedicated to that. And finding things for that Harry Potter type room is what you have one of the best places for that.
That's great.
Monthly.
Well, we love our vendors. And we love our patrons that come to the village, and we really appreciate their support every single month. And this year, we're doing something we've never done before. We're having in June and October, we're having 2-day flea markets.
Oh.
So we're having it the Saturday and Sunday in June and
Back to
October.
back.
Wonderful.
And the reason we're doing that is because we back-to-back days.
Yeah.
Yes, reason we're doing that is we have a lot of people who say to us, "Oh, I want to go to your flea market so bad, but I have to work on Saturdays."
Yeah.
And some people just can't make it out, you know. So we're trying to we're testing the waters. Our our vendors are kind of like, what, 2 days, because it's a lot. You have to get up early. You gotta you get in line, come in, you load up.
4 a.m.
We're there 4 a.m. Yes, and our staff, we have a wonderful staff that's out there and volunteers, and we're out there with our lights and flashlights bringing people in. But again, they are really important to us. So June and October are 2-day flea markets.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a great pilot thing.
Excellent,
Pilot program.
excellent.
I hope it takes off
Yeah.
because eventually, I think I'd like to do 2 days every single weekend. I'm saying that, and probably people are like, "What?"
Yeah.
You just blew their mind.
Just goals,
Yeah.
goals.
I mean, you're blowing my mind. You blew my mind with the Harry Potter thing. What? Real quick, what house are you?
Oh, Ravenclaw.
You're Ravenclaw?
My wife's Hufflepuff.
She's a Hufflepuff?
So.
All right, good people.
Yep.
Did you ever do the sorting house? Are you a Harry Potter?
I
head?
am. Yes, I love Harry Potter.
Okay.
I don't. I think I would be one of those people that like sometimes I'm wearing that hat and sometimes I'm wearing that hat.
I think you're a Gryffindor.
You think I'm Gryffindor?
Yeah, they're like brave
Yeah,
people that get
Really?
things done. Yeah, I get
Sometimes
that vibe,
Slytherin.
right? No, I don't think Slytherin.
Slytherin.
I've never gotten the Slytherin vibe. Rich is a Slytherin, I think.
Slytherin.
What's your? Did you ever take the test?
Gryffindor.
Yeah, you're Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But Slytherin and Gryffindor sometimes.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Cup of tea.
As I take us along a goat path away from your well-defined sheet here. So.
Does she sell the potions?
No. This is all
This is
for
just
our
for
rooms.
you
We
guys.
have 2 rooms. One is more of a study, and the other one
Yeah.
is a bar side. We're still working on the bar side.
So it's gonna be a Harry Potter bar.
It's
You're gonna serve butterbeer?
You know what? Maybe. It's mostly Cabernet. So Sauvignon. So mostly.
There you go.
So
Love it.
A lot of
That's
fun,
good.
a lot of
That's it.
fun.
You learn something new every day.
we went to Orlando a year ago, January. We'd never been there before
Yeah.
to the whole thing, and that's it. They came home, and in the past, I think I was telling you before, we used to build sets here for Base of Terror.
Absolutely.
And I've been frustrated since it shut down about 5 years ago.
Right.
So this is like a wonderful outlet. It's like, okay, let's build some sets in our basement. So yeah, it's all temporary. We can take it down.
Wonderful.
The
Well,
screws
I'm
and all.
glad the Allaire Village flea
Oh,
markets
yeah,
are
it's
helping
helping out Harry
your
Potter.
The whole
passion
thing.
there. It's
The-
wonderful.
But there is great stuff there. Like they got guys that make walking sticks. Like I gotta get one of
Yes.
those. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like-
we have an amazing group of like I said, we have our vendors that come, they come every single month, and then we have the people that are like, you know what, I'm going to go there, I'm going to empty my garage, I'm going to empty the basement,
Yep.
and we're going to go sell for the day because
Yeah.
it's $45 and it's going, the money's going to Allaire our
Absolutely.
nonprofit,
Yeah.
and
these
they're
roofs,
making
for these roofs.
and they're getting rid of things that they had in their basement and attics.
You guys took a pretty big hit during COVID too, right?
We did.
I remember like 200,000 or something like that. Can I mention
A
numbers
lot-
or something like that? It
yeah,
was
a lot
bad.
more. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And honestly, I say that everybody says that because I don't know who wasn't affected.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just a tough time for the whole country, the whole world.
Sure.
right.
And coming back from that, you have to take baby steps. It doesn't
Right.
happen overnight,
Right.
but it's like growing pains all over again.
Yeah.
And you lost the momentum that you had on one thing, and then you try to shift, and then you're like, well, now it's not doing what it did
Right.
because people think differently. So we really are trying to always kind of follow
Right. Trends.
and still be creative,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Wonderful.
And like you said, it's been a mindset shift
Yes.
since 2020. But I think you guys have adapted beautifully, and that segues us to our next couple
Okay.
questions.
And what's that?
That is Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
But before we get into Halloween, are you guys bringing ghost tours to Allaire? Is that a rumor?
Okay, first, the rumor is true.
Oh, ghost tours in Allaire.
Okay, rumor is true. Not been done. Not been done. We have 2 ghost tours.
Yeah.
Now, these are not, let me be very clear, these are not paranormal studies where we bring in equipment and we're going to see if the lights flash.
Those guys never find anything anyway.
Okay.
Right.
So this is not that.
Yeah.
But it is, we have a limited number of people that we're allowing in. We're just going to sell certain, I think it's $50 a ticket.
Yeah.
And you will go places in Allaire that you have, no one gets to go.
That place in the dark.
Well, the place in the dark is, yes, but
The coyotes.
we are bringing you places in the village that the general public doesn't go. The staff can go.
Right.
Sometimes the staff won't go in those areas. They just
That adds to
we're-
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we are sharing stories of, not that they're true stories, but they are, I guess, folklore or stories that we have heard as a,
Yeah.
the I guess are the extended ancestors now that run Allaire Village. So we're working very hard on that whole script because we're like, well, we should touch base on that. So we're actually working on that right now.
Is this in-house, or are you bringing a company in?
Oh no, this is us.
Oh, wow.
This is not. This is that's what I said. This is us really sharing
So
what
it's going to be
stories.
crafted.
It's going to be crafted,
Very
and it's
carefully.
going to be as real as you could imagine with what we know, or what stories that have been handed down.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take you places that that's the fun of it, is going places in Allaire Village that you haven't gone.
Yeah. Do you need an MC?
We actually.
Do you need
You'll actually probably
gentleman who can do the tours
You'll
for
probably
you?
you'll
Yeah.
probably be doing. One
I'll
of
wear the
tours.
Flat James
Yeah,
hat.
Nice.
yeah,
That'll be
yeah.
great.
So it's we recommend it for. We don't recommend it for children.
No.
Because you're going to be you're going to have some mobility because you're going to be in places that are not
Yeah.
open to the general public.
Sure.
You're going to have to be able to climb very very steep areas.
Yeah. A few of those.
But I think it's going to be very, very intriguing, especially if you're an Allaire buff or somebody who loves
Love that.
Allaire. We're going to make it fun.
So Dan admitted on air that he's a Harry Potter guy.
I am.
Yes.
I'm a ghost tour guy.
Yeah.
Like Charleston, Savannah, New
Yep,
Orleans.
yep,
Been on
yep.
all of them. So
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes. And, again, this is folklore.
Yeah.
We don't have documented.
Well, they lied to me in Charleston about
Yeah.
Lavinia Fisher.
Yeah.
They said she was like the first female
Yeah.
serial killer, and I read the book. They sold you the book for like $10, and she didn't do any of
Yeah.
that stuff.
So we don't. That's
But I know
not
you
what we
guys
do.
will.
Yeah.
You guys will not. You guys will tell us the truth.
we're gonna share stories of like I said, it's folklore and it's stories. Like there isn't we don't have documentation of that,
Right.
but we can share what we know. or what we've heard.
That's going to, a lot of people are going to be into that. I
Well,
guarantee you.
then you got to, buy your tickets because
I'm
they're
gonna-
on sale.
can I- they're on sale now?
They are on sale now.
On the website, AllaireVillage.org?
AllaireVillage.org under the events tab, and they are on sale now, and there is a limited number of tickets.
Is it just going to be October where we're doing
I believe
tours?
it's in October. I
Yeah.
can look up the date
Oh, look
right
at you.
now,
Look
but
at
I'm
you.
going to need the glasses.
That's all right.
Yes, it is the 13th and the 20th. I believe there's Sundays.
Okay, 13th
There's
and 20th.
two tours. There's a 5:30 to 6:30, and then a 7 p.m. to 8:30 each
Ooh,
night.
7 p.m.
It'll be dark by then.
Real dark.
Oh, it'll be dark by then. Yeah. So again, it's bringing you places that you haven't seen in Allaire, and then when you're there, we have some stories to enhance.
Love it.
Yeah.
Enhance.
Enhance. Enhance.
I have questions.
Sure.
Love it.
Being
No.
a Halloween guy, also.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, couple. Was there a cemetery there on site, or did they use another cemetery? I mean, was there a cemetery? I never
So
noticed.
you know what? We are silly to say no. There wasn't a cemetery.
Right.
There were, the land prior to it being Allaire was
Right.
Lenny Lenape. Like, there is.
Right.
So, yes, absolutely. There
Right.
were people, that were probably buried there. The documentation is
Right.
not great because they didn't keep records like that. Hal Allaire, James P. Allaire's son,
Right.
is buried right in Wall Township. You can go see his tomb, big tomb in Wall Township.
Okay.
Yeah, they were just doing a house and they dug them up.
No, that is not. That is not it. That is not.
Oh, that
it.
wasn't him?
No, that was
Okay.
not Hal.
serious.
But yeah, you know what? Again, there probably was.
Yeah.
The documentation isn't
Yeah.
there.
All right. As a personal individual who's
Yeah.
closed up Camp Evans many times and having to go into, hey, could you turn off the lights in this one building?
Sure.
I will ask you now, were you ever the last person to shut down the place? Just close the gates and be the last person to come out of a day there.
So we're really careful about that,
Right, okay.
Because we always use the buddy system.
Okay, good.
And we always feel that we always leave together in a group.
Right.
But I been in an area where I've been by myself and shut it down and then met the group to
Right.
all leave
Right.
together. I've done that. We are not like you're shutting it down by yourself at 11:30.
Right.
If we arrive together and then we leave together.
Yeah, totally different here.
And that's yeah. No, we're really
I'll be
really
closing the gate tonight, in fact. So.
yes. No,
Yeah, I'm not waiting for you.
we don't do that.
Okay. And which leads into my last question, and
Sure.
we'll get back on your list there. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Any strange happenings?
Ooh,
Have you just personal, been through there and just, I've had doors slam here, and
Yeah.
turned around, look, oh, the window's open. Just like, realizing it was the breeze.
Yep, it's a really good question. So everyone has asked me that since the beginning that I've been associated with Allaire being there on a regular basis. I've had battery operated lights turn on for no reason.
Nice.
We have quite a lot that happens in the chapel in the window, or we'll go in and turn the entire chapel, everything off, and then all of a sudden we're walking out and the one light goes on in the chapel,
Nice.
and I say, okay. I will say to you that I've never experienced anything frightening. Do I feel a presence? Absolutely. Cool. But the presence that I feel actually makes me very comfortable there because I will walk across. That's probably the only place that I would walk across at night, in the dark and be like, I'm okay.
Same here. Grew up there. Spring
Yeah.
Lake Heights. Grew up there.
Yeah.
And went there every year at least. The old park that used to be in the back there and all. And that's where we got married there. Honestly,
Yes.
it's absolutely a love.
There's a love.
of Allaire.
There's a serenity there. There's
There
a
is.
peacefulness
There
there.
is, yeah.
And like I said, and I'm not kidding when I say to you, when you get involved in Allaire, it's just something that comes inside you.
Yeah.
And it's like a feeling and a warmth. It doesn't leave. Even when you leave, it doesn't leave.
Yeah.
So, Yes, I have felt a presence. Has it been a positive presence? Yes. Have I ever been like so scared? No, never.
Okay.
And I would still be okay walking
We'll
across.
walk you around here a little later and
Okay.
see if you feel the same
All right.
thing.
No,
We got to
that's
find
all
the
right.
silo.
That's all right.
17 floors. What is it? Way
Way
down.
down.
Yeah, no,
way down.
but it's a beautiful presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, great. Again, great job. And if you want to give that website one more time.
Allaire Village
for the tickets.
.org.
Yeah.
For the tickets for Halloween.
All our
Sold out.
tickets, in fact, all our tickets for the entire year are up for sale right now, except I think December. December isn't with our lantern tours and our
Yeah,
Christmas.
the lantern tours.
I'm doing everything this year.
And our Halloween this year is our Night of Frights.
Night of
We're going to
Frights.
have that 6 nights. We've never done 6 nights because we keep selling out.
Yeah.
So we decided to add
Did you
2
go to
more
Night of
nights.
I have yet to be there. Every time
It's
I
You
cool.
said you went.
I've been there in the daytime.
Oh, you saw the-
That's when my
yes.
wife, Joanna, who's
saw him setting up.
now watching, I believe,
Yes.
will go. She's not a scary person. The scariest is Harry Potter, of course. That's the
Yes.
scariest she'll
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Not even
yeah.
horror movies, but we love it.
Well, we
I
have
love
it broken down into 2 sections.
Right, okay.
The first section, when you come in, is more like the glow in the dark bubble fairy.
Yeah.
We have a fire
Your
juggler,
staff
a
did an
sword swallower. We have like
Incredible job with that.
Yes.
The one I always loved, and I just loved watching it and looking at it. They did like these cellophane ghosts,
Oh,
unbelievable.
cool. Oh, Pepper's
and
Ghost.
they were in like the Victorian era.
Like a Pepper's Ghost effect.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think so. Yeah,
Yes.
and it was just with
They
the
were made out of tape.
umbrella dress
cool.
and the tall hat, and it was just so beautiful.
That was
in the
Cara
distance. Yeah.
Colonna.
Yeah,
Cara
it's
Colonna,
incredible.
amazing
Can't
art.
wait.
Amazing art teacher, an amazing
Yeah.
amazing person, and we are having many because of Cara. We're having many more of those this year.
Do you need a model for that?
Yeah, we can use it.
Very large
Literally,
model?
yeah, well, you're going to be involved. You don't
Yeah.
know to the extent, but yep, we have.
Oh, I don't know to the extent.
No,
Wow.
not
Does it
your
put
own.
like a straw like
Yeah.
in my mouth, make sure I can
you're
breathe?
going to have you're going to be there.
Okay. Well, you let me know.
But
Well-
yeah, that's 6 nights, so that's
Excellent.
exciting, and
is
hopefully we'll be able to accommodate the entire community instead of selling out.
Yeah, and I like how you said you broke it up. Like, so it's like the cellophane ghosts for the kids and things like
Yes,
that, and then
there's a sign that says.
yeah, don't go past
Past
this.
here, well, it just says,
Yeah.
past here. You know yourself and your children better than anyone.
Yeah.
If you think this is too much, we just give them that. This is a little bit scarier, but it's not.
No, I went through it and I loved it. And it kind of gave me a base of terror vibe, like on a smaller scale.
Yeah, it's scary and fun, but it's not. I
Yeah.
would say over
right.
the top.
And there was a butcher shop or something.
Yeah, we had a butcher
And that-
shop,
One of the high
and then
school
we had
kids.
and then we had the funeral
Yeah.
scene at the
That was cool, like the voodoo scene.
glow. It
Yeah.
was like all neon and glow in the dark. And
In the butcher shop, it was a high school kid
Yes.
in character, and he was funny. He was like, "This is gluten free."
yes, yes.
That's a good spin on that.
Yeah,
you know?
and we're very, we have our volunteers who do that, so we're so grateful.
I mean,
for that.
yeah, Halloween's great. You get people that dress up too. That's cool to
Yes.
see the kids come in their
Yes.
costumes and
And we have our All Hallows Eve, which is usually the next day, and that's for kids. And we do trick or treating throughout the village.
that's great. They get cowtails.
We're gonna get you cowtails. I'm going out right now. I'm gonna go get them.
And then we have a couple months later after Halloween, we have Christmas events.
Yes.
You talked about the lantern tours, and then you had a big coup this year. A wonderful individual
yes.
step into Allaire's storied history. If
Yes. So Charles Dickens, we all know,
Yeah.
wrote A Christmas Carol.
you did.
And that was really written about the same time that Allaire Village was in its heyday. And his great-great-grandson flies in from England once a year and does a tour on the East Coast. Last year, we were so lucky. He came and did 2 performances for Allaire, and he did them at the Count Basie Center for the Arts at the Vogel. And it is a one-man show. He does 26 characters, does the entire Christmas Carol in an hour and a half, doesn't stop, no intermission, and it was probably one of the best performances I love Broadway, I love performing,
Yeah.
I love any kind of play, and it was probably one of the best I've ever seen, and he's coming back December 9th
Wow.
at the Vogel. this year.
What's
again.
the date? What day is
Monday,
that? That's
December
a Monday.
9th.
Okay.
It's a Monday
December
night,
9th.
and we have a 3 p.m. show because some people don't want to do the Red Bank at night. I get it.
Okay.
And then we have the 7 p.m. show.
Brilliant.
So those tickets will be going on. Our members will get advance notice.
Nice.
Our Allaire
Can't
members.
wait.
So if you want to become a member and get advance notice, go to AllaireVillage.org and click under Get Involved.
I was there, and
there.
as a guest, and he was, and I think this is a word, enrapturing. Was that a word?
Yes.
He was captivating.
Captivating.
And then getting to meet him, what a kind man.
There's not. I
Like
don't,
if I was Charles Dickens' great grandson, I wouldn't be a kind man. I would be like, I'm Charles Dickens' great grandson, in your face.
Maybe it skips the
No.
generation.
What a gentleman.
He was. I honestly can't say enough about him. When I heard that he performs in the United States, I drove one night. My husband and I drove on the other side of Pennsylvania to catch. I left an event here at Allaire, and I drove. This is like a year ago. This is a year ago.
It was
of
a courting
year ago.
process.
It was a courting process, and his age. I got in touch with his agent. His agent kept saying no. No, you don't understand. He's booked, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. So short of, I don't know, borderline stalking, the poor man. I don't know.
That's persistent.
Let's just call it persistence.
Yeah, persistence.
He invited me. He said, well, you know what? You don't even know what you're trying to have. And I go, no, I do. And he goes, just come out and see a performance. So we drove out there one night, and we walked into literally a warehouse, and I was just like, what have I got myself into? And I walk into this bigger section of the warehouse, and there was just hundreds of chairs, folding chairs, and there was a little riser, and I'm like, well, maybe I don't know, is this going to be okay? He gets introduced, comes out, and I think I just sat there with my mouth open the whole time, just couldn't believe it. And I just said, after the performance was over, I just said, how can we make this happen? He's like, I don't know. There's a waiting list. There's like 50 people on the waiting list. And I go, but you don't understand. And I just kept sending him, all the programs that we're doing and all the things that we're doing and, how we need the money. And then he said, he called me one day and he goes, okay, you win. Like,
Stop bothering us.
Stop it. I give up.
Stop it, lady. You're scaring us.
Stop it. Yeah, no, seriously. And then the nice thing is that Gerald came. Gerald Charles
That's
Dickens.
his name, Gerald. Yep.
Gerald. And he was so wonderful and stayed with the staff and did a Q&A with the audience. There were so many things that he did.
The Q&A.
The Q&A.
And I remember do you remember what he said? His favorite. Oh, I was
Yes.
Dan could guess this. Let's see. So his favorite interpretation of A Christmas Carol. Which one do you think it is? Out of all the ones he named two. I'll name one. You remember the second one?
I wasn't there.
I know the first one.
So
You want to take? Yeah, you got to take a guess. You got to guess, Dan.
My favorite by all is probably the Patrick Stewart.
Okay.
But and I know
They
he
said
did a
that one,
one-man show for a long time there, and of course.
That was two. That was his
That was
two.
two. That was
number
two.
two?
Yeah, that was two. So you're on the right track. One was pretty bananas. What is that?
Scrooged. Bill Murray.
No, that's my favorite.
Let's guess.
That's
All right.
I love Bill Murray. A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I think you're going to get that eventually.
Absolute favorite.
Yeah.
Absolute favorite.
Because he said it was more authentic to the book because they were using
Yes,
quotes
he
from the
really-
book in the movie.
And then he shared that Charles Dickens was like a rock star in his age,
Absolutely.
at his time,
Yeah.
Really?
over in England. Yes, he was very, very famous, and he saw families ripped apart by wealth.
Right.
So he put in his will that when he passed, everything was to be auctioned off.
Yeah.
And all the money was put into one lump sum
Right.
and then divided evenly. So one of the questions we asked was, what do you have of his?
What was
do you
it?
have
Do you remember?
anything? Yes, he has a little picture with his initials on it.
Yeah.
And he said that's the only thing. There are very, very rare to have anything because he had auctioned off all his valuables and split his money evenly because he didn't want anybody fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
So he shared things that were very
Intimate.
intimate and in a beautiful way. He listen, I can't say enough good about it, but he did. The nice thing is he told his agent when he got back, he said that was the New Jersey. He called me Jersey. So
Jersey.
He goes Jersey because I think I
Daryl from
probably-
Jersey.
Yeah, I think I was probably like more aggressive
Right.
than most.
How you doing?
Yeah, I was like, what do you need? Do you got anything? Do you need water? But
There's a great Italian restaurant right there.
yes, I brought him food, whatever he needed. We embroidered towels for him. Listen, we went all the way with him.
Yeah, and if you sat in the first 3 rows, you got a
Yes.
signed copy of
But you know
Christmas
what?
Carol.
But I asked him after he booked, I said, would you take about an hour and a half and sign books? And he said, sure. And I said, I'd like to give the first 3 rows, because the tickets are, more.
Yeah, yep.
I would like them to give an autographed copy of Christmas Carol. And he said, I'd love to. And so I sat there with him signing, and he, again, couldn't be, and he's doing that again, but he told his agent, he said that was, he goes, Jersey did it right.
That's right.
But he said, in his British
We always
accent.
do it right. Yeah.
He goes, Jersey did it right, and he said that was his favorite performances were in Jersey at the Vogel in Red Bank. So
It was quite the experience. I was in the 4th row, and there was a couple.
So close.
There was a couple seats. The people didn't show up.
yeah,
So there was like 3 books on the seats the whole play.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's like the devil and the angel. I'm like, so I go to put my coat on, and then I go, and they're all gone.
yeah,
So somebody from the 4th row were like,
Mine.
so
yes,
Yeah.
that
yes.
was taken care of for me. But next year I'll get 3rd row, and I'll get the autographed copy.
I am
Yes.
personally a book hoarder. You can tell.
You have
Get some
fantastic
my
books.
older books over
You
here.
have the guys from. Oh, we're gonna call. It's probably Cody.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah.
So, is it true that he saved Christmas? Christmas was actually dying out before Christmas Carol came
Yes,
out.
there's a whole backstory
Yeah.
of how he had to write this really fast, and it was published like in 2 weeks. Like it was a crazy
Yeah.
thing that went on in England at the time, and then it just blew up. It just was, everybody wanted it. But the funny thing that I did not know, he said to me, A Christmas Carol is much more popular in the United States than it is in the UK. And I had and I said,
Did he
what
tell
do you
you
mean?
why?
He just said that the America took on captured.
Like it was our own, yeah.
It was like our own, and he said, I come here and do that because it means so much more to Americans that it does. Not that it doesn't mean anything to people in the UK; they like it, but here it is true vintage
Yeah,
Christmas.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta
Christmas
watch it
Carol
once a
with
year.
Tiny Tim
Yeah.
and Bob Cratchit. Like the whole thing is. He said it means so much here. He goes, I love coming here right before Christmas because I go back to England and my family, and I'm just so in the spirit because it means so much to Americans.
Yeah.
So that was a shock to me.
Yeah.
What do you say about the Beatles?
He did not. We didn't talk about the Beatles.
Do we love them more than the English?
We didn't like. He was very funny. He just he's like, Jersey, come here for a minute.
Nice.
Come here, Josie.
I'd be remiss not to mention this. You have a wonderful staff. When I volunteer, every time I visit in their office, which we won't say where it is because we don't want people to bombard you for autographs.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I show up and it's they each bring something to the table, and it's like
Absolutely.
it's like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, except they're dealing in history. Incredible. Everybody has their own job. Everybody does something special. Everybody brings something to the table. So can you speak a little bit about them, and then what do you guys have planned next?
Well, listen, our season just started.
Yeah.
So we are in the middle of school tours. We have over 6,000 to 7,000 children
Excellent.
from all over the state of New Jersey come and visit. And if you're a school out there looking for...
We're coming
to book a
Monday.
I heard you're
Yeah.
coming Monday.
Excited. I forgot about
Yep.
the trip. So
We have
thanks.
our tour coordinator. We have History Kids, and we're open now Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. At the Village, it's $5 a person to get in. All the proceeds go to our nonprofit.
Yeah.
And we have our list of events, and we have our our list of events, which is, I think there's 80 some events here.
Oh.
So everything from our History Kids program, which is
Yeah, what's the History Kids program?
Yes, hands-on, run by Dr. We have a doctor on staff, Doctor of Archaeology, Dr. Linnea Kuglich.
Yeah, Kuklich.
She's an amazing woman. And
Wonderful. Very nice.
She is.
She's from Wisconsin, right?
She is.
She's so nice. She's like
So-
the nice.
the nicest. Yes.
person.
And
Ray of sunshine.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she runs our History Kids program, and she's also our volunteer coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So she has many hats. And History Kids is where anybody can hand you a pamphlet or a book and say, here's this is what happened. Here's history.
Right.
History Kids is hands-on.
Right.
We go down into the mill pond and pull out bog iron. This weekend she showed them how to create their own camera, their own photo.
I think she showed me something. It was like
Yes.
3D.
Yeah, well, that was
That
one
was
of
something
them,
else?
But this was she actually made their own photo, like the photo processing. It was just incredible. So they always leave with, I think the next one is they're planting. They're doing
Yes.
planting and seeds
Love
and
it.
growing and gardening. She goes into that.
This is such a hands-on program that you guys have.
History Kids is hands-on program, and the best part of that is, so we're in between our tours. The new thing that we have that we just started, and literally the board approved this without really having the budget for it. We have a Everyone History
Everyone History.
program.
Okay.
And Everyone History is a new program that we have started for people, children and adults with special needs. And it's something that I don't think has been done. There's special needs programs, but this is something where we call up the school, the organization, the group home, whatever special needs, the blind, the deaf,
Absolutely.
Right.
autism, any type of disability, as I like to call ability. And we say, okay, you've got 20 people in your group, 3 of which are sensory, the loud noises aren't going to work for them.
Sensory processing. that's what they call it. Yep.
Sensory processing, and it's going to be too much for them. So we can't bring them in the blacksmith shop. So we wanted the ability to say, okay, what can we do? What does work? So if we can bring them into the carpenter shop and maybe the smoothness of the wood, or things that are sensory
Will be soothing, right? It can
soothing
be-
for
yeah.
them and not overwhelming, but they're still learning and having an experience.
Yeah.
We want everyone, and that's why we call it Everyone History. We want everyone, regardless of their abilities. And this is children and young adults, because we all know you get to a point with family with special needs and they time out of the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing. These are real families living it every day. And we want to be able to go to them and say, what can we do for you? How
Yeah.
can we accommodate you? So maybe you can't do the hour and a half, but maybe you can do 40 minutes. And maybe that 40 minutes is just more than walking through the village, which
Right.
is what those groups do. And this idea came from our executive director. He's watching the vans pull up, and the we have a whole group coming out and all their companions and their guides, and they'll walk through the village because it's very flat, it's very safe, it's just a very serene feeling. And this was their exercise, this was their field trip, this was their day out, but they weren't participating. And we're like, no, if we want every child of every ability, every adult of every ability, however they've come into the world, we want them to experience Allaire.
Right.
And that's why we have Everyone History. So we literally have an outreach coordinator. We have booked, we started it about a month ago,
Yeah.
after the board approved
Okay.
it.
Yep.
And we have 17 schools booked,
Wow.
17 organizations booked that have never, ever, ever been at Allaire.
Wonderful.
And from Jersey, anybody from Pennsylvania, New York.
So we have one from New York that's coming in from Staten Island,
That's
which is
great.
really great. Yeah, yeah. So this
That's
is
taken off
taking
immediately.
off because we're going to them instead of them saying, well, this is what we have to offer. How are you going to fit into that? Which is what happens because it's really hard. It's hard, but we want to take it from around the other way and say, okay, You tell us what you need, and we're going to do everything we can to accommodate that. But that takes money.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the reason that takes money is that because we have to have paid interpreters that, number one, understand special needs. Number two, are educated.
Usually education background.
An education background. And, we went into this knowing we're $100,000 in the hole right off the bat because we have our coordinator, we have the interpreters, and there's various equipment that we found out that we need, for the blind and the deaf. And so we're learning as we're going, but we're coming to them and saying, you tell us what you need, and then you
what you want,
and what you want. And listen, the goal would be able to provide this for free, which actually gets me a little bit choked up because everything's really hard. It's hard. It's hard when you have. Listen, it's hard every day when you're dealing with special needs. It's a whole nother level. And again, I'd like to say, their abilities, not their disabilities, but we want to be able to accommodate them in a way that gives them the experience, and then to grow it to maybe we could have a everyone history family day where it's the family, the siblings, the grandparents, but I need, I say but because I get very emotional about it, but we need $100,000. Okay. We're about, listen, we're about $6,000 in that we've raised. Okay. But you know what? That's $6,000 more than we had. So, again, we want to be able to provide. We've got the most amazing interpreters and staff. I can't say enough about the staff.
Staff's great.
They're
always cooking something up.
Yeah, and there's not many of us, or very few of us. Everybody thinks, you have, less than 10 full time.
We would love to have you back. When to talk more about everyone history once it starts to develop. Love it. And you could give us more information.
I would love to. Yeah, I'd love to have Hans here and also our coordinator.
Absolutely, we'll bring him on.
Shelby.
So last question before we do our reads and then the hang fire question.
Yeah.
One last plug. I know we said AllaireVillage.org.
Yes.
How can one donate, volunteer, things like that?
Yes. So you can support us in many ways. Number one, you could. As you're listening to my voice, you could write a check right now to Allaire Village Inc. and send it to us. You can go on AllaireVillage.org. There's a donate button. Anything. Nothing is too small.
Nothing too big, nothing too small, right, as Bill Murray says in Ghostbusters, right?
Yes.
It's really great if you become a member. Because memberships offer, like last year, all the members got advance notice of the Dickens tickets before they went on sale to the general public through Ticketmaster, which is really great.
They get some swag, right? Like blankets and stuff like
that. Yeah, we do
swag
whatever.
Bag.
A sticker.
Stickers are great. Magnets.
Giant cookie, cowtails.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sticker.
Snickerdoodle cookie.
There you
cowtails.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
We donations, grants, memberships, events. Support our events, support our programs.
Wonderful events.
Every time you pay to get in, we get a lot like, oh, I already pay my taxes. Why do I have to pay you too? And I'm like, well, I'm paying taxes too, and they're not going directly to this.
And that's another story for another day.
That's another story for another day.
Mm-hmm. We could say that. You guys need the money.
Funding is limited.
Yes, right. And for the roofs and all everyone history kids.
Yes.
The funding has to come, unfortunately, privately.
Yes,
it has to. Right.
Yes. Now. I was thinking if everybody who had a wedding there in the last 20 years sent in $10. Look.
We're 25 years.
He's already. He's pulling his wallet up.
Oh, look!
Look
it's
at that.
the only 10 I have.
Oh, Hamilton!
Can I just
Alexander
say,
Hamilton.
Thank you very much.
Hans would be very proud of me right now. He'd be very proud of me.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
And thank you for the $10.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that was perfect.
This is why I never carry
money.
Why do
I have this $10 bill on me? I knew it was for a reason, man. So absolutely.
That was not even planned.
That's great. Oh my.
All right. So before we do our rapid fire, I'm just going to do a couple of things here. We're I'm reading it off the phone today because I forgot my sheet because Cody's not here, you know.
Oh no.
And I got to
Doesn't have
listen.
this
I'm
to the side of it
I'm
here.
kidding myself here because I need glasses and we're just not there yet. So I got to like hold this up to my face.
Do I do that too? Okay.
Yes.
Rapid,
So
is this rapid
well,
fire?
yeah. So I'm going to do the sponsor reads and then we'll do some rapid fire
Okay.
with you. Always providing honest and ethical home services. Rostron Premium Home Services offering premier heating, cooling, electric, and plumbing services for residents in Monmouth and Ocean counties. Whether you need a service call or you're looking to replace your existing equipment, Rostron Premium Home Services has the manpower to tackle any job. Air conditioners, furnaces, boilers, generators, water heaters, car chargers, hot tub wiring. They'll even install Ring cameras. Rostron Premium Home Services, a company of quality. And then our last one, experience the difference with Mighty Ducks Dryer and Vent Cleaning. Meet Chris and Chase Jacobs, the dynamic duo behind Mighty Ducks. With our expert service, your dryer and vents will be cleaner and safer than ever before. Say goodbye to lint buildup and hello to improved efficiency. Trust Chris and Chase to keep your home safe and your appliances running smoothly. Contact Mighty Ducks Dryer and Vent Cleaning today for quality service you could rely on. Call or text 732-925-1778 to make an appointment.
Did you say Jacobs?
Yeah, Chase
Yeah,
Jacobs.
what a nice
do we know?
name.
Do we know Chase? Is it
I
a
have
relation?
no idea who these people are, but at least sound amazing. That's great.
All right, so we got rapid fire, which is really I think we're going to rename this hang fire because it's a slow paced
Yeah,
part.
all you,
so
man.
just some personal questions here for you,
Okay.
Miss O'Connell. You've worn a lot of hats, which we did with the bio early on. I have to ask you about your resume. There's so much going on there. So what was your favorite job, or what was the job that taught you the most to be what you are today?
I think my first job out of college.
Yeah. What college you go
taught
to?
me the most. I went to Rowan University. At the time, it was called something else.
Glassboro
State.
Was a landmark there?
Yeah, it was just a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think my first job, I worked for Allen Consulting. Sylvia Allen was my first boss. I still work with Sylvia. Does sponsorships for Allaire, which is amazing.
Was she the apple pie judge?
She
Sylvia?
was.
Yeah, I know Sylvia.
Sylvia, yep.
Because I was
Amazing
an apple pie
lady.
judge once.
She has Sylvia's
Feel so left
Children,
out.
which is an amazing, amazing charity that she founded. It has been, I think it's over 25 years that she's had.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was my first boss. I probably learned the most out from her, but my favorite was definitely Allaire.
Allaire.
Like, hands down. Can't even
It's
compare.
enchanting. It's amazing. And you guys are doing
As
enchanting
great,
stuff.
as hard as it is,
Yeah.
it's my favorite. Yeah.
Has to be, right?
Yep.
And you're doing God's work there. You wrote for Women's Day and Family
Yes.
Circle. Tell us about that.
I had so I had some articles featured. I love creating products.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point I had a gift shop and I made my own products and they
you
were
make?
featured. Vintage button thumbtacks. I know that sounds
you got to
crazy.
show me a picture of this.
Vintage button thumbtacks, and they were packaged. I packaged them in a really unique package. I love everything from like creating the product to packaging it. All
I
the
think
way
you guys
through.
need to talk off air with all the making, the
Yeah,
creation. Seriously, all the creation. you
Love
guys do.
packaging. I love
Yeah.
the whole marketing of it. And they actually, I sent them. You just send your stuff into magazines because I had a gift shop and I was doing anything I can to stay alive.
Yeah.
And they called me up and said we're featuring them. And then they said tell us more. And then the next thing you knew, I was in Women's Day and Family Circle with other products that I had and a fundraiser that I did for women with cancer.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So it kind of just snowballed one into the other. But you have to market yourself. You have to get out there and throw. You have to put it in front of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your favorite. Let's go with this favorite because it says here you do the emotional supports. Your favorite life message. What's the message you like to adhere to every day? The message that maybe you want to pass on to folks that want to get into what you do.
That being kind costs nothing.
Ooh, my grandfather used to say
Perfect.
that. That's a great one. That's a lost one today.
It's lost. Just how about just being kind?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not cruel to be kind. Just be kind.
Just be kind. Just be kind.
Yeah, I like that. Be kind.
Excellent.
Yeah.
2 words. What are your emotional support tactics?
Oh, my kids and my grandkids.
Lincoln's one of your grandkids.
Lincoln
right? I know
is
that
one of my grandkids, and then Bobby Marie.
Bobby Marie.
Bobby Marie.
Bobby Marie. That
Yep,
sounds like a
Bobby
Bruce
Marie
Springsteen
is
song.
3 months old today, as a matter of fact.
Congratulations.
And my daughter-in-law Randy, and my son Brent, and my daughter Carly, and then my big emotional support, my husband PJ. Absolutely.
PJ. Met PJ, great guy.
The Peach.
The Peach.
That's as
The
Lincoln
Peach. Did
calls
you
it,
say
the Peach.
Peachinator or just Peach?
The Peachinator. Yeah, he's the Peach.
You've also written a children's book.
Yes, I have.
So what is it called? We got to plug
There's
this.
two.
Okay, there's two. Wow.
There's two. One called The Prayer Mitten, and the other
Prayer
one called The Prayer Mitten. It teaches children to pray, and the other one was called Everybody, Everybody, and it was co-authored with my daughter, and it was about learning and presenting positive body image.
So important.
Yeah,
When did you write these books?
a long time ago.
Yeah. No way. Pre-COVID? Post?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you love about writing?
You know, I was always criticized about my writing growing up, like, in
And
school.
you had good teachers.
Yeah. I was really, my writing was always lacking until I took a creative writing course. And then I was
Rowan?
No, actually in high school.
Okay.
Started getting good grades in creative writing. I didn't realize, I was just writing how I knew to write. And I really would love to do more children's books, and I'd love to do maybe one for Allaire someday.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
It's due. I mean, they have that
good.
great book section, and
have that
it has to be in
the
Allaire.
proceeds
Yeah.
to go to Everyone History and
Everyone
kids,
History,
the
and that's
educational programming. I mean, that would be, that's a legacy.
Two birds,
Yeah.
one stone.
Yeah.
What does your writing process look like?
Okay. When you're on a game show and you step into the clear, the soundproof booth.
Yeah. Wow.
And then they turn on the air and there's money.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's me. I grab like this idea and this idea, because that's how.
But you could tune everything out.
That's how it feels like it's going on in my head, and then there's this and this and this and this. I wish I could tell you that it's this regimented. First, I break open. No. It's like a.
It's not like yellow legal pads or
No.
it just happens. But it sounds like you could tune everything out when you do it. That's important.
Well,
right?
you kind of have to,
Yeah.
but then you don't. With the way I am, I tune in, tune out, tune in, tune out. Like it's not a. I wish I could say I'm very structured and this and that. It's a free for all. It's the I'm grabbing dollar bills.
Is it a quick process for you, or does it take a while?
When I get into it,
Yeah.
then it just flows.
Okay.
Someday when I think I have written some songs, but I don't know. So,
Nice.
but I have no musical talent whatsoever. So I think the lyrics.
Are the lyrics written down? They're
Lyrics.
somewhere. They're safe.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put that in your next.
Yeah.
book.
Where's Taylor Swift?
Where's You can email her.
Can she call me?
You can email her, see if
Yeah.
she'll do your song.
She has the number.
Last question.
Got it.
Heard a rumor that you can recite the Gettysburg Address.
That is true.
Now you don't have to recite the whole thing.
Nope.
Can you give us a little, history teacher?
7
Love Lincoln.
years
Oh,
ago,
here we go. We're going.
our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Oh
Today,
yeah.
Today we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. Yes, I can.
Well
Nice.
done. Come on,
Thank
that's
you.
that's an A+ in my class.
Yeah. Since I was probably in 5th grade.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And he's your favorite president, right? Gotta be. He's a goat.
Favorite. He's it.
He's a goat. Also our tallest.
Call him
6'.
Babraham.
Babraham. See, everybody said he's ugly. I don't think he's a bad looking guy.
Yeah, no, it's not an attractive thing. It's an admiration thing for me.
But
Yeah.
I still think he's not a bad looking guy.
No, he was tall.
He was a tall guy.
I think his wife made him grow the beard back too. By the way, he shaved for
Yeah.
a while, so
Yeah. Mary.
Mary Todd. She had a tough life.
Mary.
She did.
She did. She lost 3 sons, and then
And him.
and Robert was the only surviving one. So he was the only one there at the dedication of the Lincoln Memorial.
Right.
Wow.
Should we talk about Lincoln now?
We can. We can. That's going to be for part 2.
That's part 2.
Yeah, that's part 2. We're
That's
going to
part
get you in
2.
for Lincoln and Everybody History. But thank you so much for coming. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having us. I
Daryl Lynn
appreciate it.
O'Connell. One more plug. Go ahead. What do you got?
AllaireVillage.org.
AllaireVillage.org.
Please give and keep that historic village going for generations to come.
Excellent. Hopefully, and in your charge, I'm sure it will be.
Well, it's a work. It's work every day, but well worth it.
Labor of love.
And if you haven't been there, people are like, I haven't even been there. I'm like, you have to take a walk through the village.
I have to take a stroll. Absolutely,
You have to.
I agree
you
with
have
that.
to do it. Nobody even believes it's in where it's located.
Yeah, unbelievable. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We just have a little local news. It's light but heartfelt today. Just real quick. So we have 2024 is an election year. Committee member, incumbent Tim Farrell will be running again. He just announced his candidacy, and I believe that he's going to be running unopposed in the township of Wall. So that's voting in 2024 November, so it's going to coincide with the presidential election. I have some sad news here. Our town prosecutor from Wall, John Lane, passed away last week unexpectedly. He was a young guy. He was only about 64. They're going to do a mass for him at St. Dennis in Manasquan, 420, Saturday 420 at 10 a.m. I knew John. John was a great guy, really nice guy, community leader. Like I said, prosecutor. I heard he was a great pool shark, too. I worked with him on a fundraiser once, and it was my first fundraiser. And he was like, "Hey, kid, I got this." So that's my John story. So, condolences to the family. Dan, I didn't forget about you. Cocoa Beach.
What? Oh, no way.
Yeah, I didn't forget about you.
What?
Cody and I want to thank you for helping us get this off the ground. So it's not from Dog Paws. I lost the bag. But why don't you open that up here as just a little thank you?
Really?
gift?
You
See
sure?
what you got there.
Is something I can share? Is it cookies?
Something you could share.
Maybe cowtails?
It's not Snickerdoodle, sorry.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah, you got to take it out.
Thank you very much, by the way. That's great. All right, here we go. Oh, it's only my favorite thing. We
you
don't have
go.
the camera to pan over to the flag over here. And it looks very much my size, too, by the way. Thank you very much.
You got it. SpaceX,
Absolutely
very
love it.
sharp. You're going to look very sharp in that
I
thing.
am, and black is my color, too. So
You're going to wear that for the next your next podcast.
Absolutely.
Got to do it.
100%. Thank you, Gail.
Well, thank you
very much
for all your help.
That's beautiful.
Bobby Scholl Foundation, they were our first guest. We were talking to those guys over there, Kyle and Brett. May 6th is their deal fundraiser there at Deal Golf Club. They're still looking for whole sponsors, so if anybody wants to be a whole sponsor for the Bobby Scholl Foundation for CF, you can go on their Facebook page and message one of the guys. And the last one, I think this became public knowledge this week. We have a little boy in the community right now who got a tough break. There's a GoFundMe page for Landon Shanklin out there. Comes from a wonderful family. His father is a lieutenant in town. His mom's a teacher. So our prayers go out to his family. But whatever it is, we know that. Just want to let him know that this community has his back. And once it's over, whatever he's going through, he's going to come stronger out of this. And we know it. And so our prayers go out to him. There is a GoFundMe page on the Wall PBA. Check it out. But wonderful family. Wonderful kid from what I heard. And we know he's going to be a fighter. And we know he's going to be stronger for this. So Shank Strong on Instagram and Facebook. So, yeah. So that's all we have. Anybody outstanding? Thanks for joining us. Daryl,
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Cody will be back next week. Good night and good luck. We'll talk to you.